Hello, everyone. We have our very special legendary guest, Chuck Huber himself.
Legendary, I tell you.
Well, thanks for coming on, and Chuck's coming to our virtual Comic Con next week called Ottawa V, and it's a really unique platform because it actually simulates a convention, so people can actually move to different tables.
Cool.
Yeah.
The
So
online convention thing has been really helpful during COVID. It's given us at least something to do.
Yeah, we did one last year, and we had I don't know if you're a comic book guy, but we had Geoff Isherwood from Marvel come to our
Cool.
event.
Yeah, nice.
So why don't you tell me what got you into voice acting?
Well, I was an actor. I'd been an actor for about 10 years in Chicago. I went to school for theater at the Goodman School of Drama and then moved to Texas and ended up with a theater company. And we did this improv show called Fuzzy Logic, which was Spolin based improv where we basically had 60 minutes to do whatever we wanted, and we planned nothing. All we did was plan where we would spacewalk in from, and we had a guy throwing in music and stuff. Actually, Chris Sabat spun at one of our intermissions one time at this improv show way back, like 20 years ago. And we would just improv. We had like a DJ, and he would throw in sound effects in our scenes, and we'd sort of theater game up into scenes, and then just different ways of sort of bringing about the space and making the space feel like there was something real happening. Anyway, the point is, at a rehearsal for that Fuzzy Logic show, my buddy Brad Jackson came into rehearsals, and he was like, "Hey man, you should go audition for this Dragon Balls thing." And I was like, "Dragon Balls? That sounds like porn." And he was like, "No, it's Japanese anime." And I was like, "Oh, so it's definitely porn." And he was like, "No, it's cool. You should go call this dude." And his name's Chris Sabat. Give him a call, and he'll hook you up with an audition. And I called him, and it was very casual. It was not, I was used to Chicago where it was like a reception desk and forms to fill out. And, this was like, "Hey, yeah, man, come on, audition." And I was like, "Okay." And I auditioned for Garlic Jr. was the first thing I auditioned for. And I think this is a true story. If not, I have really good memories that I make up inside my head. But I think I was cast, and then I recorded my very first session right then. Like, they cast me, and then I recorded like 2 episodes. I think they were on a deadline, and I was the last character they needed. So they were like, "You're perfect. Let's do it." And I was like, "Okay, let's do it." And I didn't think it would turn into anything. And then it was turned out to be the biggest audition of my career. Right there, that was the one.
Yeah, Dragon Ball is what got me into anime. I remember watching it with my cousin, and then because we didn't have cable at the time, we'd go over to his place to watch it. And then eventually we got the satellite, so I would catch it first thing in the morning while people were catching it at night. So I was getting all the different time zone channels.
Yeah.
So getting back to Dragon Ball, if you got all 7 Dragon Balls, what would you wish for?
Okay, assuming I can't wish for something like peace on Earth. I mean, I suppose I'd wish for peace on Earth if that's a thing. But if I have to be like selfish and wish for something just for me for the duration of the rest of my natural life, I would probably wish for the quirk that Kurogiri has, which is Warp Gate, so that I could just go very Doctor Strange and just be able to open a Warp Gate and step through to any place on the Earth or in the universe even. So that it would especially make like conventions are awesome, but I'd prefer to sleep at home, but I could do a convention anywhere in the world at any time. I could show up for my panel, be back at home, and then show up for that would be ideal, because I love my house and I love being here more than. But my second favorite place would be probably conventions or playing poker with my friends. I don't know. There's a lot of friend things I like too.
Nice. I like poker too. I got myself the Joker set, so all the pieces are Joker from Batman. So
That's cool. That's cool. That's probably
yeah.
that's probably pretty fun to play with.
So do you have a favorite Dragon Ball character that you play?
Android 17 is huge and people love him and I love him too. And he's certainly probably my most popular character from the series. I've played Android 13, Garlic Jr., Master Shen, Mr. Shu, Kibito. Did I say Android 13? I did Garlic Jr., Android 17, Emperor Pilaf. But and 17 is probably the most popular, but the most fun to act is Emperor Pilaf. They every time I step into the booth to do some Pilaf lines, I just get to make all these weird noises. So I get to. It always makes us laugh. The stuff that Pilaf does because he's been the same throughout. We're going on 20 years now. He never wins. He never wins. But that's the type of character. That's that stock sort of vaudevillian character that Pilaf and crew are.
Yeah, it was cool how they brought him back with Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, for sure. Can you imagine me getting that call like, hey, we're going to do this again. And it's not Kai, it's a new thing. And it's probably going to be massively huge. And you're just like, well, all right. I am incredibly lucky. And I will just thank my lucky stars all day long. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Because I had Kibito, Emperor Pilaf, and Android 17 come back. So I got to come back in 3 different characters, which was fun.
Okay, I got a pretty funny Dragon Ball joke for you.
All right.
They say iPhone is better than an Android, but when's the last time an iPhone saved the entire universe?
Yeah, that's a good one. I heard that one. That's the fun thing is a lot of what we share on Twitter and in social media and stuff, like I get to participate with the fans as you guys are having fun with the series and coming up with memes and talking about them being angry and, like all the stuff that goes along with being part of a fandom. It's very rare as an actor that you get to be this close to the people who are your supporters, the people who make your living possible.
Cool. Yeah, I like how when we first started chatting, you just put up a thing saying follow me and I follow you. And I thought that was pretty cool. I'm like, oh my God, Chuck Huber just followed me. This is like a dream come true.
Well, that's, and that's part of the thing is that you can run your Twitter however you want to run your Twitter. I just started following someone called Mr. Rogers Quotes or something. So it was just quotes from Mr. Rogers. And on that day, I'd read a particular quote of his and I can't remember what it was, but it prompted me to be like, if Mr. Rogers was on Twitter, he would absolutely follow everybody who followed him. And so I spent like a week, like 2 weeks just following as many people as I could. And there's bots where you can auto follow people, but I don't like that. I like to check out everybody's profile and sometimes I miss some and they're not safe for work, retweet stuff that I'm like, whoa, and I'll have to like, oh, sorry, can't follow that. But Mr. Rogers, I think he'd follow everybody who followed him. So I think we should all be like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, I need to see that movie with Tom Hanks. I believe he made a movie where he was Mr. Rogers and he was Disney. That guy's been a lot of things too.
Yeah, Tom Hanks he's done a lot of work, that's for sure.
So speaking of the androids, a lot of it involved time travel and the first time you guys were introduced. If you could take Trunks's time machine and travel to any era in time, where would you travel and why?
That's a good one. Assuming I can go there and come back right to my life when I left, I would Oh, that's so hard because, like, I don't know. I might travel to like maybe 10 or 20 years in the future. I'd like to get a bead on where we're headed, to see like, is it Mad Max, or is it flying cars? Where are we? Are we fighting for water and gas, or are we like taking our transporters around the world, our maglev 2,000 mile per hour trains? I think that'd be fun. I think that's what I'd do. I think I'd go ahead like 20 years, maybe 30 years, and see what the history of the next 30 years was. That would give me a really good handle on how to prepare. Speaking as a father, that would be the only wise choice, to travel forward and see what was coming so that you could better prepare for, financially, career-wise, aliens, whatever happens in the future.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I'm a father too. I have 2 girls. One
Oh,
just
nice.
turned
How old
5.
are they? Oh,
One
5?
just turned 5. She likes going to conventions, and like we brought her to our first conventions, and she just ran up to someone dressed as Deadpool and gave him a big hug.
That's perfect.
The other one, she's 3 months old.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. 5 and 3 months. Well, 5 is pretty good to have a baby sister because they can be actually helpful. Grab those diapers, get her sippy, get her bottle. 5-year-olds are little. They're the best little robots you can have when you're taking care of a kid. 3, like when you have like a 2-year-old and a newborn, that is tough work. 5, it's still tough work. Who am I kidding? But
Yeah.
5 and 3 months is that's a little bit more manageable spread.
Trying to think of another Dragon Ball question. So if you were Emperor Pilaf and you had your own kingdom to rule over, what are some of the, what would you do?
No, I think I would start by making everyone drink hot chocolate. No, I don't know what I'd do. As Emperor Pilaf, he would just have people bring him food, I think, mostly. He mostly seems hungry all the time to me. That seems to be his character arc, seems to be related to food and wealth that he's never going to get. But if I was ruling, like if I was ruling over a kingdom, that I would be very focused on experimentation and scientific achievement. I would have whole like collectives where science was mostly experimentation, and that'd be kind of fun to do.
Well, speaking of experimentations in Full Metal Alchemist, you did some.
You see me reach for my Stein screw? I was reaching for my Stein screw, and then you went Full Metal Alchemist. I was like, I'm just touching my ear. So yeah, Full Metal.
So if you could, like Shao Tucker, if you could fuse any 2 animals together, what would you fuse?
I would fuse myself with a grizzly bear. No, I wouldn't do that. My wife would be sad. She'd be like, why did you turn into a bear? I don't know. Maybe, I've often said this, that you would have to train them a little better. But like, I think having a cat, like a house cat that was crossed with like a panther so that it was as docile as a house cat and it was never going to eat you. But you had a giant, like, super fun cat in your house. I just think that would be awesome because nobody would mess with your house, especially if the cat was territorial and some burglar came in. They'd be like, crush him. It'd be fun to take your panther on a walk too. That'd be kind of cool.
Just imagine all the looks that you get.
Yeah, for sure.
So you were in the Star Trek Continue series.
Yeah, that was a great series to be a part of.
What was it like playing Evil McCoy? Because I thought that was pretty cool.
That was a really fun episode. You get, cleverly written too, and just really attention to detail all around. The Evil McCoy was fun. I think, I don't know. I think that it was one of my favorite. My favorite was the Civil War one, but the Evil McCoy was fun to play because he just get to be sadistic. Just an evil doctor. I seem to play a lot of evil doctors. I don't know what that's all about.
Okay. Where would you, if you had the Star Trek Enterprise, where would you want to travel in the galaxy?
Oh, I would start with the tour of all our nearest neighbors. You know, the Phobos, the moon. I'd probably check out Oumuamua, or whatever that thing was that came into the solar system, was supposedly accelerating. I would definitely check out the sun. I think that would be fun, kind of close up, get it like massively in our view screen. That'd be cool. But I would definitely land on the moon. I'd go to just all the nearest neighbors. I'd like to see Jupiter's moons up close. That could be cool. Ooh, and the rings of Saturn. And of course, any other galaxies with or star systems with alien life. I would go to those too. Because of course the computer would be able to tell me where those were.
Yep, that'd be pretty cool. Just go anywhere.
Yeah.
So you were also on Yu Yu Hakusho. What was it like playing Hiei?
Hiei was a lot of fun to play. He was a character that, you know, he was the second major character that I was cast in. And it was the second major show that Funimation got a hold of. And so it was a big deal. It was a big deal. It was important to me. I remember auditioning and thinking, this is important to me to get. And I didn't realize at the time how popular it was going to be, but I'm pretty competitive and I like to succeed. And so, you know, I wanted to make sure I was in the next one, that the next big property that they had. But once you meet all the fans and you see the love there is for the show, you just feel like you were so lucky to have been cast in the, you know, the role that I was cast in. He's one of my favorite types of characters, which is where you're a bad guy at first, and you're sort of good, and then you're kind of good, and then you save the day, and you know, like, you're never quite sure, is he going to show up? Is he not going to help? That's that rogue character, that sort of, I mean, in a sense, Hiei would be in a similar category to like Han Solo in the Star Wars universe. You know, it's the same type of like, well, I'll do the right thing, but only if I have to, you know. Of course, Han changed throughout the series. So and I think if they were to continue Yu Yu Hakusho, I think Hiei would change too. Similar to the way that Android 17 has changed and Super. So
what was your favorite moment in Yu Yu Hakusho? Because that would be my next favorite anime next to Dragon Ball.
Yeah, Dragon of the Darkness Flame. I remember very specifically coming in to record that, and Justin said, you know, you're like, what are we doing today, Chief? And he's like, well, it's a big tournament. Your arm turns into a smoky dragon. You kill everyone. And you're like, what? Is that really going to happen? And then you record it. And you're like, that was awesome. And I remember being very, we did the Dragon of the Darkness Flame take like 3 or 4 times. And it was the last thing we did that day because it was pretty intense. And I remember just being like, let me have one more shot at it. He's like, okay, if you're sure, because I really wanted it to be, you know, epic.
Yeah, that was like my favorite episode, and that kind of inspired me to make the cocktail. So I invented the Dragon of the Darkness Flame. I put in peppermint for the ice element, and then cinnamon Fireball whiskey. And then I make my own blackberry liqueur. So I pour that in, and then I put in blueberry. And then I have like a little lime boat, and I set it on fire.
Fire is always good for a cocktail. That does it justice to the name. That's perfect.
What's your all-time favorite? Do you have an all-time favorite character that you've voiced?
Well, I mean, Android 17 has been so good to me, and he's such an amazing character and so well loved by so many. He's right up there at the top. But the Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho is probably closest to me, just because I'd never been to a convention before Yu Yu Hakusho became popular, and I went to a convention not. I thought I was going to the convention to pass out flyers about the show. I thought I was going to be sitting at a table like, watch Yu Yu Hakusho. It's a great show. And they were like, no, you're going to be signing autographs. And I was like, what? That's stupid. You don't know how autographs work. And I thought they were dumb. And they were like, no, you're stupid. And I showed up and signed autographs for 4 hours the first time. And I just was like, what is happening? I didn't know we were popular. Why do they care about me? I'm just a voice actor. And it was this astonishing, afternoon where I got to, first time I met all the fans. I met a lot of them all at once, and they all loved Yu Yu Hakusho. So he kind of got emblazoned on me for that reason.
Do you have a favorite place that you've traveled for a convention?
Wow, good question. Okay, I will tell you that I love going back to Chicago. Chicago's my hometown, and I have friends there, and I get to see, go do old things that I used to do when I was in Chicago. So that's a favorite. I've my one of my best friends in Minneapolis, so I like going there as well. It's the people. Traveling abroad, though, is amazing, and I've been to Dublin and London and Sydney and Perth and Auckland and one other place in New Zealand. I can't remember the name, and Hawaii and just all sorts of places. And every one of us is amazing. And I think part of what makes it so easy for us to travel is first the love from the fans, but then you travel and you get to a convention and, halfway across the world or in Europe, and anime fans are the same everywhere. The anime fans are exactly the same all over the world. So there was a convention in Kuwait or somewhere in the Middle East, UAE maybe, that I was like hoping to get on because I wanted to see what are Middle Eastern anime fans like. Like I was curious to see that, because I was sure they would all be just like anime fans, which is, is kind of amazing.
So I noticed you have a gaming channel, if I'm not mistaken, right? Where you play games on Twitch?
Yeah. I used to do it more. It was mostly something I was doing because my son was interested in it. So I was like, well, let's do this and we'll do a thing. And he's kind of moved on from that. We have a Discord channel for the Now Voice This and for the alumni of the classes. And I'm supposed to do something there once or twice a month. The people who run it are going to make me do something there once or twice a month. So maybe I'll be playing some video games again. I'm rocking. I still rock a round or two of Fortnite every other day. And I started playing Mass Effect, but I didn't get the noob bundle. Someone said you should try Mass Effect. And so I got Andromeda and then everybody was like, that's not Mass Effect. And I was like, what is it? It said Mass Effect. It was in the PlayStation store. And they're like, you got to get the real ones. And then they weren't in the PlayStation store. So now I'm waiting for the bundle. And then I'm going to start playing Mass Effect for real. I like Andromeda, but as soon as I found out it wasn't the real one, I kind of lost interest in it. I was like, I'll wait till the bundle comes out.
Were you a gamer growing up or not so much?
Yeah, I mean, we gamed. No one was a gamer when we were growing up because you couldn't play them that long, and you're always taking turns, and they would kind of when we sixth, seventh, like I remember playing Mario the first time, like in sixth grade, however long ago that was, 36 years, 37 years, 40 years. I don't know. It was a long time ago. So, but there was an arcade called The Landing in Cedarburg, Wisconsin. And it was $1.99 to get in. And all the games had all their credits on them, and you could play from, I think it was like from 2 to 5 or something, 3 to 6. You got like 3 hours of gaming in there every Tuesday. And the place was always packed. So you had to, like wait your turn for the good games. And so I ended up playing games that weren't all that popular. I played one called Crazy Climber. I became an expert at Crazy Climber. Played a lot of Tempest. Still liked Asteroids. That was my favorite. But I started there was a gaming, Sega had a cable channel that was a gaming channel, and you could download games way back in the 90s. They had this, and we used to wait for the new games, and then we'd have to wait for them to download, and we would game pretty often. A lot of Sega games. Road Rash used to be a favorite. We used to do duos on Road Rash and try to crush each other all the time. Pilot Wings was one that we really liked a lot on the Nintendo. We would play Pilot Wings for hours. Lots of games. I played lots of games.
Yeah, I remember my uncle had a pinball in his house, so we'd play pinball, and now I have my own pinball right here, the Street Fighter.
Nice.
So we have a question in the chat.
Sure.
Do you play Smash Bros, Chuck?
Okay, my children are furious at Smash Bros. They rock and crush on Smash Bros all the time. So when they come over and they get a tournament kind of going amongst themselves, I will sometimes sit in on that tournament and get resoundingly crushed. I occasionally sneak one past somebody and do all right, but most of the time I just get crushed in Smash Bros.
Do you have any advice for anyone who wants to become a voice actor or get into acting?
Yeah, study acting. Study how to be an actor first. Knowing how to act because there's thousands and thousands of people trying for the same part. It's your acting skill that's going to distinguish you. Plus, you only get one chance to make a good first impression, so you want to make sure you're prepped, you're ready to do it. You don't want to step out into the fray. Although there's places like Casting Call Club and Now Voice This is certainly a way for you to try it out and at a no risk. Everybody knows on Now Voice This, you're not going to flame a studio because you sent them a bad audition. They'll be like, oh, that guy's no good. Now Voice This, you just kind of do it and see how you do and get feedback. But taking classes would be key. I teach classes. fireflyworks@gmail.com. We have Shakespeare, improv. We've got a demo engineering class, got a scene study class, and I teach a master class with dialects and some other stuff that's important to learn.
So we can learn from the master himself.
That's right. Don't
I think you've answered this question, but so Chuck, what is the first acting gig you had?
My very first acting gig as a SAG actor. I had one little gig in high school called Study Skills. It was a video series on teaching kids how to study, and it was non-paid, and you just got a copy of the VHS tape. But my first paid gig, I played a murderer on America's Most Wanted, and it is, oh God, I think you can still find it on YouTube. It's the Wade Meisberger. It's two-parter. He killed his best friend, and I got to play Wade all the way back when I was like 20.
Okay, we have another question here. Any other forms of acting you did, Chuck?
Yeah, I started out on stage in Chicago at the Goodman and Steppenwolf Theater, Court Theater. Worked for a theater company there called the Dog Boys. I did television. I've done film, Shakespeare. I've puppets, magic. That was a horrible gig. Never say you're a magician if you're not a magician just because you need the money. You will end up regretting it later. I did, because the one trick that worked happened at minute 3, and I still had 27 minutes to go. So it was a long magic. I thought I can do it. I can figure out some magic tricks. I was very wrong. I've done puppets. I had a puppet show with Cook Children's Hospital at Mayfest for many years that taught safety basics. That was fun. I haven't done marionettes. I've done costume character work. I think I've done it all. Pretty much done it all. Yeah, I'd say I've done it all.
So, is there any current projects that you can tell us that you're working on right now?
No, not really. I'm focused a lot on the teaching. I mean, when COVID hit, I kind of tapped the brakes on worrying about anything new, and have just been maintaining my legacy characters. Showing up when they need me to show up for those. We've got projects around the house I'm working on a lot of the time too. We're building a greenhouse. My wife keeps me very busy.
All right. I think, are we out of time, or do you still?
I can take a couple more questions, and then I do have to get ready for my next deal.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions in the chat? Oh, and to answer this guy's question, no, I don't have a Discord server yet. I got to get on that. So, do you have any favorite Android 17 moments that you can recall?
When his line, it's so perfect for him too. He says, "Look at me being all human." I like that one. That was epic moment and super for sure.
So, seeing how Android 17 was a park ranger, do you have a favorite animal?
I go hiking a lot, so I like bears, and I have to say they're my favorite so that they don't eat me. Bears and dogs. I like dogs.
I watched this one channel where this guy rescues these little bear cubs, and they're almost like dogs. Like they're so like docile.
Yeah, they start out that way, and then they eat your skull.
So is there anything that you want to tell our guests, our people in the chat before we...
Thanks for being fans. If you're interested in any of the training options I talked about, you can hit me at fireflyworks@gmail.com. Our Discord is called Now Discord This, and I believe there might be another round of Now Voice This starting up soon. I'm just getting the last little details put together, and then we're going to decide on a start date. So join us for that.
Well, thank you very much for coming on. It's an honor to interview you.
Well, thank you. The honor is mine. You guys honor us all the time, and we are very thankful for it.
Well, thank you very much for coming on. I hope you have a great day. And this is 8-Bit Shinobi signing off with Chuck Huber.
Bye.
Bye.